Hey guys, I'm Daisho and I'm here bringing you some magic, and today I'm going to be playing a Return to Ravnica draft, and this is the one that I drafted the latest, so it's my Selesnya deck that I think is okay. It's not the best deck I've ever built, but I'm definitely still okay with running it, and I am pretty excited to show you guys these games. Anyway, I lead off with a Dryad Militant, and normally that's pretty good. It can swing in for 2 and then often enough trade with their 2-drop. But even though I was on the play this game, I still got to swing it for 2, which was lucky. But then after that, it pretty much does nothing because he's got this Frostburn Weird in the way, and I mean, obviously a 1/4 and a 2/1 does not match up favorably to me. So anyway, if you can take a glance in my hand, you can see that I have a Centaur healer, but instead I chose to play the Selesnya Sentry, and that's just because if he attacks this turn, then I'm gonna block. And if I had played the Centaur healer, I would be less likely to block. So basically, I decided I'm going to try and make a trade with this Frostburn Weird. So if I do it this turn, then I would rather trade it with my Selesnya Sentry, which I don't really need as much, than with my Centaur Healer. But anyway, here my opponent's actually going to make a pretty big mistake that is definitely relevant. So he blocks my Selesnya Sentry, and he's just like, okay, these will just bounce. And that's, I mean, I'm just trying to go through his logic here to show you why it's not really such a big deal that he made, or not really so far-fetched that he made the mistake. So he plays an Izzet Staticaster and kills a Dryad Militant. So on his turn, he figured, okay, I have this as his Staticaster, I'll just kill the Dryad Militant. And then once I attacked with my Selesnya Sentry, he had a completely separate thought process, which is, well, I don't want to trade the Frostburn Weird, but I do want to, right, but I don't want to take any damage either, so I'm just going to have them bounce off each other. And then he didn't realize that the Selesnya Sentry had a damage on it when he played the Izzet Staticaster, so he ended up killing a Dryad Militant instead of the Selesnya Sentry. So that was a small mistake, but it definitely could have helped him in the long run. So he's just going to play a Goblin Electromancer here. And Electromancer is an interesting card because it's a 2/2, so it's pretty much always going to be at least somewhat useful for you. Because, I mean, a 2/2 body can always just, for instance, right now, if he attacks me, if I attack, I can't really attack with the Centaur Healer, because he'll just double block with the Frostburn Weird and the Goblin Electromancer, and then I'll trade my Centaur Healer for a Goblin Electromancer, which might not be terrible, but it's not really something that I would love to do. So that's always useful. And then if he ever gets to a instant or sorcery that he wants to cast, like a Thought Flare or something like that, although now he has the 5 mana to cast it. But even so, if he had something else, then it's just pretty much always useful to be able to get stuff in there for cheaper. So I really like Goblin Electromancer, and even though he doesn't play too much of a role yet in this game, it's definitely a pretty interesting card. And I mean, actually, I'm wrong. He does play a big role in that I can't really attack with either of my 3/3s because they'll just get... Although, actually, right now, either of my 3/3s will just get blocked by 2 Frostburn Weirds, and then Izzet Staticastered, but... Anyway, right now I'm just going to Slime Molding, and the reason why I chose to do it on this turn is because he's shown that he doesn't really have any counterspells in his hand, and I just don't think he has, the Cancel or the Syncopate. I guess either of those would work right here, but I decided to make a pretty big Slime Molding, and the reason why I decided to do it here is because I'm out of lands in hand, so this is probably the biggest it's going to get, or not probably, I could wait and see if I draw a land next turn, but chances are I won't draw a land, or I'll draw a land one time in the next 3 or 4 turns or something like that. So it's not extremely likely that I can get it any bigger. Plus, I didn't really have a good play for this turn anyway, I don't think. Although I might have, I don't remember the card that's in my hand at this point in the game. But anyway, that was my reasoning over there. But this board state's pretty confusing because neither of us really wants to attack and leave ourselves open because we can't kill each other in one attack. But we also, yeah, so it's just a little bit confusing. So here I'm going to leave my Sentry back, and for him it sort of makes sense. It's like, okay, he probably doesn't want to, I mean, it's just going to die to a Frostburn Reader and it is a Staticaster, so there's really no point in attacking with it. But for me, I have actually a better plan up my sleeve. Either the card that I drew or the card that I had in my hand is a Knightly Valor. So I want to be able to put my Knightly Valor on the Selesnya Sentry, because then that's just extremely good value for me. But here my opponent makes a slight mistake. I don't really think it was... Actually, never mind. It probably wasn't a mistake because there's no other cards that I was playing around, but he taps out a red mana instead of just tapping 3 blue, and there's really, it wouldn't really have made a difference, but if he had 2 red, then it could have been a big mistake, because then I might have just been playing around Annihilating Fire, not wanting to Knightly Valor my Selesnya Sentry. But anyway, since I have, 6 mana in play? 7 mana in play? I can regenerate my my Selesnya Sentry pretty easily. Or not pretty easily, but I can take my turn to regenerate my Selesnya Sentry. So, I mean, I just made that attack so that I can actually kill one of his Frostburn Weirds. I knew that I was going to lose my 6 mana investment in Slime Molding to just a Frostburn Weird and Izzet Staticaster Ping, but I knew that I had to do that, and I just wanted for him to get as many things off the board, because I really think that this Selesnya Sentry can just win me the game over the next few turns. I mean, a 5/4 vigilance that you can't kill in combat because I can regenerate it is just really, really difficult to deal with. And that's kind of the position that I wanted to put him in. I wanted to put him in a position where no matter what he does, he wouldn't be able to win the game. Obviously, if he had something like a cancel for my Knightly Valor or a removal spell, although he didn't have enough mana for one, but he didn't have the right kind of mana, I mean, then maybe that would be a bad situation for me, and it would just, I would just get 2 for 1. But once I put the Knightly Valor on the Selesnya Sentry and I untapped with it, he could have had, I guess, an explosive impact right there for it, then I knew I was in pretty good shape. And then the card I drew pretty much sealed that. But I'm just going to attack with the Selesnya Sentry. Normally, I think I would probably go aggressive here and attack with both of the 3/3s as well. But the card that I drew is Golgari Decoy. So now I know that all I need to do is just untap with my Golgari Decoy alive, and I'll be able to win, even if he's able to kill one of my creatures, because I still have enough. Actually, he can't kill the Sentry. I wouldn't have enough power then, but either way, it's going to put me in a great position, and that's the kind of situation where Golgari Decoy is actually a finisher, so he's just going to scoop it up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day. Bye.